Hi, welcome to the garden. I'm doing a little bit of fall cleanup today. In the Southwest, we have an extended growing period. It's very long. Really, you can have something growing in the garden year round. And then there are spikes in the growing year that are more productive than others, and that would be spring and fall. And so spring gardening sort of concludes by July when we have our hottest weather. And that's not to say you're not harvesting anything. There's still a couple things. We harvested our figs in July, and I still harvested a couple zucchini. The eggplants are still going, still had some peppers going, but then there's other things that are definitely done. This hot weather, 115 degrees or so daily, and a lot of our plants go dormant. The tomatoes stop producing and they'll just be sort of sitting there empty. Some of the things became buggy. My yod pho that I brag about, the Chinese broccoli, that became buggy, and it's pretty well done now. Here we are in mid-August, and I'm going to pull them out. I'm going to pull out my collards, quite a few of my Swiss chard. One is still going strong. So I just want to show you the garden. What does it look like as we're preparing for fall? What things are we going to keep in to see if we can get one more crop out of it? And what things we're going to pull out. Let me show you a couple of things. So tomatoes first. Let me show you tomatoes I'll take out. Tomatoes that are questionable. Will they kind of come back as the fall weather dips? And a couple that I'll definitely keep and see if I can get one more crop of tomatoes before a freeze in November. So all these things I'm anticipating here in the middle of August. I'll take you around for a minute and show you. This is a tomato that's definitely done for the year. It's all dried up, but it is not filled with any pests. And these aren't diseased leaves. These are dried up, I'm all done being a tomato plant leaves. So I can just cut this down and toss it in my compost heap. One like this is a little more questionable to me. There's still a lot of beautiful green leaves on there with some dried up leaves. There's that branch that hangs over and dips down. So I might trim up this plant and leave it in the ground just to see what will happen. And then I want to show you one more tomato that's a definite keeper. Here we are in another part of the garden is this tomato, and it's nice and green still, not a lot of shriveled up leaves. And I'm noticing that it's making an effort to put out yellow flowers already. And I think I'm super curious if this will put on one more round of tomatoes. So I'm going to keep it. This ping tongue eggplant is doing so well. The plant looks very healthy even after a tough summer with a lot of extra heat this year, and it's already flowered again and already fruiting again. Here we go. There's an eggplant, and then look at these flowers, they're so pretty. So eggplants are staying unless I come across one that's really struggling. Some of my peppers are done and some are still going. This is the Edgevarsky Pepper, which I love. The first crop of them anyways, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches big, and I don't know, 1 or 2 inches round. The second crop of these are much smaller. So I think it's cute that it put out a second crop I love this pepper. I love the flavor. Don't eat it green though. If you get the Edgevarsky Pepper, let me know how well it does in your garden. It did really well in my garden this year. I love it. This is that Edgevarsky Pepper that I love so much. This is when you want to pick it, when it's red. They are so tasty grilled up. I'm probably going to keep growing these. I am down to 2 chickens. Zinnia's the darker brown and chamomile. Hey girls. They're helping me with my fall cleanup. They're picking a bunch of bugs and all kinds of things from the ground. Here's something interesting. This eggplant is still going, but I can see that there's some kind of bug on there. I don't know what that is. Have any of you seen this? Dark little spheres. Oh, and there's the bug itself. It's a brown little tiny thing crawling around. That's interesting. I might trim off the buggy part and throw it away, because this eggplant's still producing. I've got one right over here. Look at that. Beautiful. So I don't know if I want to get rid of the whole plant. Maybe just these branches that definitely have the bug on it. Okay, I gotta show you another bug. Man, I didn't know this was gonna be a full-on bug fest. But this is fun to show you guys. Okay, I gotta find you one of these. There is a caterpillar called a grapeleaf skeletonizer. So here's a grape leaf. That's what it's supposed to look like, right? And then, look at this. Look what this caterpillar does to it. It just eats it away. It leaves the stemmy part of the leaf. I'm gonna turn some leaves over and see if I can find you one and show you what it looks like. Grape leaf skeletonizers. Ooh, there they are. There you go. See that caterpillar? That's the grape leaf skeletonizer. I'm gonna trim off some of this grape and throw it away. I don't mind so much because our grape harvest is over. I already ate a whole mess of grapes. There's no grapes left on here. So all I'm gonna do is trim up the grape a little bit. Can't see him, but I've got a little lizard friend on the wall. He's so tiny. I want you to see him. He's back in there. Oh. He just left the yard. I think I completely missed that shot. Oh well. This is the yod fa. It just looks so spindly, so eaten, so done with life. Look at that. We ate a bunch from this plant. I'm gonna grow it again. I'm gonna try. This was my first growing of it, and I grew it in spring. I'm gonna try it again in the fall and see how well it does in the fall. What is a fall planting of yod fa going to look like? And how much can I harvest from it before winter really sets in? I'm excited to do this again. We gathered it up. We made sautés and stir fries out of that. We have a dish that we call daddy noodles. I don't know. It ended up with that name because that's my husband's version of orange flavored chicken, and then noodles and a whole bunch of vegetables and a whole bunch of vinegar and soy sauce. So it's yummy and the kids love it. But anyway, yod fa, do it. You won't regret it. So these zucchini are finished. I'm gonna take them out, and the decision maker for whether something goes in the compost heap or gets thrown away really has to do with, is it bug infested, or does it have, you know, a pest's eggs all on it? And that's the kind of thing I don't want to put in my compost heap. So such is the case here with this plant. Take a look. Those are squash bugs. So I don't really want to spread them all around my yard and through a composting it. I'm just going to pull this guy right out of the ground and lift the whole thing into the garbage. Some of the things still in this bed are green beans, which have not given me any green beans yet. So I'm curious to see if they will, as the weather drops a little bit as we head towards fall, if they'll put on some green beans. Yeah, I have a lot of hope for the green beans still. They don't look diseased. They don't look completely worn out from the heat. Oh yeah, I'd like to keep this plant. I don't need every single leaf. That looks good. That looks much better. I hope you're enjoying the weather as it's starting to cool down a little bit. I know it's still hot out there, but in these mornings before it really heats up is a good time to spend time in the garden and get it prepared for fall plants. Happy gardening.